Have you got a Mortice lock that is either stiff or hard to operate like this? Well, today on Fix It with Fowler, I'm going to show you how to replace a Mortice lock for a 5 litre high security lock and avoid some of the common pitfalls along the way. So the first thing you need to do is decide what size lock you need. Now, locks are measured by the back set, and the back set basically is a measurement from the front of this plate here to the centre of the handle or the centre of the lock. They're both the same. Now, they come in 2 different sizes. If you measure this and get 44mm, you need a 64mm back set. And if you measure this and get 56mm, you need a 76mm back set. That way, when you come to fit your lock, it should fit and line up with your existing handle. So the first thing you need to do is remove the handle itself and the spindle which links both the handles together. So the first thing you're going to need is some screwdrivers. Now, I always use these because there's a whole manner of shapes and sizes of screwdrivers, and all you need to do is select the right one for the actual screws, and then they just literally slot straight in and you can crack on with removing the handle. Make sure you open the door before you remove the last screw and the handle, otherwise the door will be in the locked position. You can now remove the lock itself just by undoing these 2 screws. Now you can remove the lock from the door itself, just give it a bit of a wiggle and that should come out. Now you can get your new lock and you can compare the 2 and see if there's any major differences. Now, the first thing you'll notice is that the locks are similar in size, slightly different, but this latching system is the opposite way round. So now I'm going to show you how to quickly change that over. So as you can see, these locks, the latches are the opposite way round, and this is the old lock. Now you can adjust this really easy on the old lock. You can just pull that out, he says, twist it round and put it back in, and that is the latch changed. However, on the new high security lock, instead there is this machine screw that we have to undo, and then we can change this latch. So to fit the Mortice lock into the door itself should be a straightforward process. However, this is the first hurdle you're going to face. These high security locks are normally a little bit longer in the body. This particular lock is 110mm and the old one was 105mm. Now you may be looking, this hole might be long enough. However, for this lock, it isn't, it does not fit. So that means I've got to take off 2.5mm off the bottom and 2.5mm off the top. So I need to take that out, and the best way to do that is with a hammer and chisel or a drill. Now to install the lock into the door itself, and all you need to do is push it into the hole. Now you've made it big enough. The next thing you can see is that around the edge of this lock is not the best. So to neaten it up and try and make a good job of this, if you get yourself a Stanley knife, you can then get this lock into position and go around the lock itself. And that way, when you come to chisel it out, that will give you a nice, good edge to chisel up to. And you should end up with a really neat end result. So to install the lock into the door, you just slide that into position and it should fit quite nice now you've chiseled the door out itself. This has a nice brass plate that goes over the top, and then you can just screw that into position either with the screws that are provided, or you can use your own. Have you subscribed to my channel? Well, if not, why not? It does not cost a thing. All you need is a Google account, sign in and hit that subscribe button. That way you won't miss out on any of my future videos. And you can also be part of my goal to reach 100,000 subscribers and join me on my DIY journey. Now, if you're interested in finding out about any of the tools I've used in this video, or indeed the lock itself, I've left a link in the description and you can head over to there and it'll take you directly to the tools and the products. Right, see you soon. Hello? Hello? Help! So the next stage is to get your spindle and put through the lock itself. Get your existing door handle and put over the spindle. And now is a perfect time to test the latch itself. And the way to do that is to give the handle a bit of a try. Now, if it's stiff, that means that the handle itself isn't lined up properly. So once you're happy and that's in position and it's freely moving, you can then screw this into position. Now, these high security locks are also supplied with a high security strike plate. Now, this lock does no longer marry up with the existing strike plate, so we've got to almost repeat the same process as we did with the lock with the strike plate. So to install the strike plate or the lock box, what you need to do is work out where this is going to sit on the frame itself. Now, this fits over the lock and the latch like so, and there's a 10mm tolerance which gives you plenty of scope to move this where you need it. Now, what I'd recommend is put that halfway, so you've got 5mm up and 5mm down, and then I'd mark it the top and bottom on the frame itself. So now, to actually install this lock box, you do get templates included in the fitting kit, and you can get that and hold that into position and draw around it, which then will allow you a template to chisel out. However, you can use a measurement system and your set square and get exactly the same thing. Once you've done that, the next stage really is to get that into position and go round it with a Stanley knife, the same as we did with the lock. That way, this cutting out will have a really good clean edge. For the lock box itself, you need a 22mm drill bit, drill 4 holes, and that will recess this into the wood. Drill 4 22mm holes into the frame, then finish off the hole using a chisel down both sides and across the top and the bottom. Go around the lock box with a Stanley knife to ensure you get a nice clean edge, and then chisel out to the required depth. You can now pilot the holes and then screw the lock box into position. So that is the lock and the lock box all installed, and now for the moment of truth. And that is the shed all secure. So if you're interested where to get the lock from, there's a link in the description below. Please head over to that, and don't forget, please subscribe to my channel and help me reach 100,000 subscribers.